Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We meet once again on our Arabic grammar lessons discussing the topic Anwaع الحال. As we've previously discussed الحال, and as we said, it is the circumstantial clause. It is the clause, it's an expression in the sentence that shows the condition of particularly the fa'il or the maf'ulun bihi as the action is occurring. Okay, so you have an action occurring, you have a verbal sentence, and then you have, in a verbal sentence, you have the fa'il, which is the subject, or you have a maf'ulun bihi in there. The hal comes to show you the condition of the fa'il whilst the action was occurring. So let's say the soldier came walking, or the soldier came riding a horse. The soldier came sick. The man visited me sick. Those words that shows the condition of the person as the action was occurring, or that shows the condition of the object. Like I tell you, I rode the horse weak. This weak at the end is showing that the horse was weak, but I rode it. So it shows a condition or the state that the fa'il or the maf'ulun bihi was in while the action was occurring, as we previously explained that concept in the al-hal topic. If you've forgotten anything in there, you could quickly go back and refer to the previous lesson. Today we are going to look at the types of hal that we have. Hal is just like khabar. Okay, please take note of this. Khabar is supposed to be one word and it is supposed to be marfu. So khabar is supposed to be something like al-waladu tawilun. Tawilun is the khabar. So we tell you that khabar is marfu. Yes, but what if you see something like al-waladu fil bayt? Where is the khabar? Somebody will tell you the fil bayt is the khabar. Somebody will tell you no, the khabar is actually hidden. So al-waladu ka'inun fil bayt. So in Arab, if you've met it before, if you've not, in the grammatical analysis, something like al-waladu fil bayt, they will tell you the fil bayt is muta'alliqun bi khabarin mahzuf taqdiruhu ka'inun. Whenever you have a phrase being the khabar, they tell you that the phrase is actually attached to a khabar that is not mentioned. So it shows you that the original khabar is supposed to be one word. If you have a sentence coming as khabar, in the Arab, they will tell you that this sentence is actually in the position of the khabar. It is not the actual khabar, but it is standing in its position. So you can have a khabar that is mufrad, one word. You can have a khabar that is jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, khabar shibhu jumla, as we've already seen in previous earlier lessons. Hal is the same thing. When you come to hal, the hal that we did, you realize that they were one word like this. They came like this. Mufrad mansub. That is the one we used under the topic al-hal. Now under the Anwa al-hal, you realize that that is not the only kind of hal that we have. You can have a hal that is ismun mufrad mansub. You can have a hal that is jumla ismiya, a hal that is jumla fi'liya, a hal that is shibhu jumla. You can have it like that. So that is what we are going to look at. So let's quickly go through the amthila. We have raja al-qa'idu mansuran. Raja al-qa'idu mansuran. Qa'idu is the commander, the leader. The commander returned triumphant. So mansuran shows the hal of the qa'id when he returned. So the commander returned triumphant. Rakibna al-bahra ha'ijan. We rode on the sea disturbed, okay, or aroused. We rode on the sea whilst the sea was aroused. Ha'ij, bimana, it is aroused. It is not calm. The sea is boiling up. It says, La ta'akulu at-ta'ama haran. Do not eat the food whilst it is hot. So haran here is qualifying the at-ta'am, ha'ijan is qualifying the al-bahra, mansuran is qualifying al-qa'idu. So mansuran is halun min al-fa'il. The sahib al-hal is the al-qa'id. The ha'ijan is halun min al-maf'ul bihi. The sahib al-hal becomes the al-bahra. And then haran is halun min al-maf'ul bihi again. And the sahib al-hal is the maf'ul bihi, which is the at-ta'am. As we indicated in previous lessons, we have the hal and then we have the sahib al-hal. So that is the first type of hal. We come here, we see hadar ad-duyufu wal-mudifu ghaibun. Hadar ad-duyufu, the guests came. The guests came. They were present. Wal-mudifu, the mudifu, the duyuf is the plural of daif, a guest. And the mudif is the one hosting. Ay allazi yastadifu ad-duyuf. The one who is hosting the guest is the one called the mudif. And the host was absent. So this waw here, we call it waw al-hal even before we get into the bayan. So you don't translate it as end. So you say the guests were present whilst the host was absent. Whilst the host was absent, or while the host was absent. It says istafat al-junudu. Istafat, they stood in sufuf. They stood in line. Suyufuhum mashhura. Mashhura bimana, it was wielded. The sword, their swords was drawn out of their shield. So the soldiers stood in line while their swords were wielded. لا تأكل الفاكهة وهي فجة. Do not eat the fruit whilst it is unripe. Fijjatun is the opposite of nadijun. Nadijun bimana it is ripe. Fijja bimana it is not ripe. So first one, the hal was ismun mufrad. Here you can see that the hal is jumla ismiya. This is the hal, is al-mudifu ghaibun. Here you see the hal suyufuhum mashhura. It is jumla ismiya. Here fijjatun is jumla ismiya. So here the hal is jumla ismiya. We come here, we see غاب أخوك وقد حضر جميع الأصدقاء. غاب أخوك, your brother was absent whilst all the friends were present. وقد حضر جميع الأصدقاء, whilst all friends were present. So from here is the hal, which shows the condition whilst your brother was absent. It says ذهب الجاني, the culprit went. تحرسه الجنود, being guided by the soldiers. تحرس from حرس يحرس, تحرس. The culprit went, guarded to guard, harasa to guard. So haris is security, guard. So the culprit went, guarded by the soldiers. They didn't let him go alone. قطف الأولاد الأزهار, the boys plucked the flowers. ولما تتفتح, whilst it was yet to blossom. Whilst the flowers were yet to blossom. So here you could see وقد حضر جميع الأصدقاء is جملة فعلية. تحرسه الجنود is جملة فعلية. ولما تتفتح is جملة فعلية. So here we have the hal being جملة فعلية. Okay. And then we come here, it says راقني الورد وسط البستان. The flower attracted me. راقني, to attract, to catch my attention. راقني الورد, the flower caught my attention. وسط البستان, whilst it was in the middle of the garden. So it caught my attention being in the middle of the garden. Now this is what you understand. Hal is telling you that the flower is not just the flower being the flower that caught my attention, but the fact that it is in the middle of the garden. That is the hal. Hal shows you the condition of the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi whilst the action was occurring. So it says that, it says راقني الورد وسط البستان. the flower caught my attention in the middle of the garden. أبصرت الخطيب فوق المنبر. I saw the khatib, that is the orator, the one giving the khutbah, is called the khatib. I saw the orator or the one giving the khutbah فوق المنبر, whilst he was on the minbar, whilst he was on the pulpit. طلع البدر بين السحاب. The moon appeared between the clouds. So here you can see that the hal is وسط البستان and وسط is ظرف المكان, adverb of place. فوق المنبر, that is the hal, it is also an adverb of place. بين السحاب, an adverb. So you have an adverb and its مضاف إليه, an adverb and its مضاف إليه, an adverb and its مضاف إليه, also being the hal. تعلم الطائر في القفص. Try to differentiate between تعلم and تعلم. تعلم, تعلم with hamza after the ta, and then تعلم ain after the ta. The one that comes with تعلم ain after the ta is to learn. تعلم الطائر, the bird learned. But this is تعلم hamza. تعلم بمعنى to be in pain. تعلم الطائر, the bird was in pain. في القفص, in the cage. القفص is cage. تعلم, to be in pain. From alam, the bird was in pain in the cage. It says اشتريت السلة من التين بثمن قليل. I bought the basket of tin. Tin is a kind of fruit, or let's say a plant. Okay, it bears fruit like that. So that fruit, I bought a basket of that fruit with a small price, a small amount. بئت الثمرة على شجره. I sold the produce. A thamar can sometimes be used for fruits. I sold the produce or the fruit على شجره, on its plant. So I sold it whilst it was on its plant. So basically, the أنواع الحال here, you can basically see that we have hal that is ismun mufrad, we have hal coming as jumla, that is jumla fi'liya or jumla ismiya, and then we also have hal coming as shibhu jumla, whether that is made up of zarf or harf jar wa ismu majrur. Okay, so let's quickly read through the bahth. He says انظر الأمثلة المتقدمة. Look at the previous examples. تجد كلا منها يشتمل على حال تبين هيئة الفاعل أو المفعول به حين وقوع الفعل. This is the definition of the hal that we picked in the previous lesson. The hal comes to clarify the nature of the fa'il or the condition of the fa'il and or that of the maf'ul bihi whilst the action was occurring. It says وَإِذَا تَأَمَّلْتَ هَذِهِ الْحَالَ. And the word hal is treated as feminine or treated as masculine. So when you see هذه الحال, is fine. وإذا تأملت هذه الحالة في جميع الأمثلة, in all examples المتقدمة, all the previous examples, وجدتها في الطائفة الأولى مفردة. You realize that the hal in the first category is singular. وفي الطائفة الثانية جملة أو جملة اسمية. And in the second category of examples, the hal became a jumla ismiya. وفي الطائفة الثالثة جملة فعلية. And in the third category, you find the hal coming as جملة فعلية. وفي الطائفة الرابعة ظرفا. And then in the fourth category, we find it coming as an adverb, where we saw the وسط البستان بين السحاب and all that. وفي الطائفة الخامسة جارا ومجرورا. So these are basically the kind of ahwal. When somebody asks you ما هي أنواع الحال, you basically say الحال عندنا حال مفرد وحال جملة اسمية وحال جملة فعلية حال ظرف وحال جار ومجرور. Okay, these are the types of حال that we have. وإذا تدبرت الجمل الواقعة أحوالا في الطائفتين الثانية والثالثة. If you should ponder over the sentences, al-jumal here, he means the jumla ismiya and then the jumla fi'liya, not the shibhu jumla. So he's talking about the hal that comes as jumla fi'liya or jumla ismiya. When you consider those ahwal, you find that وجدت كل جملة تشتمل على رابط يربطها بصاحب الحال. You find that either the jumla ismiya or the jumla fi'liya contains a rabit, a link, L-I-N-K. It contains a link. The jumla hal, the sentence that is standing for the hal, it has a link in it. This link, يربطها بصاحب الحال. The link connects the sentence to the sahib al-hal, which is either the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi. والرابط, and this link, إما الواو وحدها. Sometimes the link is just waw, the letter waw, وحدها. وتسمى واو الحال, and this waw is called واو الحال. واو الحال, that is what I mentioned. وإما الضمير وحده, or you have just a pronoun connecting the jumlatul hal to the sahib al-hal. وَإِمَّا هُمَا مَعًا, or at times you find both of them coming. You find the waw and then you find the damir. I'll go up and clarify that for you right now. It says وَإِنَّكَ لَوْ تَتَبَّعْتَ جَمِيعَ الْجُمَلِ الْوَاقِعَ أَحْوَالًا لَمْ تَجِدْ بَيْنَهَا جُمْلَةً بِغَيْرِ رَابِطٍ مِنَ الرَّوَابِطِ الْمَذْكُورَةِ. If you should search about all hal that comes as sentences, either jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya, you will definitely find a rabit in the sentence connecting it to the sahib al-hal. And the rabit can either be waw al-hal or damir. Let's go back, let me clarify this. Now for this first one, because the hal is mufrad, we don't need any rabit. Now, let me clarify this again. Why do we even need a rabit when the hal comes as a sentence? We need it because jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya, they can stand independent on themselves. They do not need to fall on another sentence. So the moment the hal comes as jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya, you have to prove to us that it has a relationship with the fa'il or the maf'ul bihi. You need to connect it with something. Else we will consider that as an independent sentence. So if I see حضر الضيوف والمضيف غائب, I know that this waw is waw al-hal. And whatever comes after waw al-hal is the hal. And I know jumlatul hal does not stand alone. Though, so far as we have a hal, we should have a sahib al-hal. So this waw is the rabit here. We must have the rabit, which is the waw al-hal. So you have حضر الضيوف, حضر فعل ماضي, الضيوف فاعل, والواو واو الحال, والمضيف مبتدأ مرفوع, غائب خبر مرفوع, والجملة الاسمية في محل نصب حال من الفاعل. You see how it goes. So this jumla ismiya all together is في محل نصب حال. It is في محل نصب حال حال من الفاعل وهو الضيوف. So this whole sentence is standing in the position of mansub hal. Come here. استفت الجنود سيوفهم. You see, the soldiers have stood in rows. Their swords. So the domir hum here refers to the junud. It has to connect back. So we know that this sentence cannot stand alone. So far as we have the domir hum here. So here the hum is the rabit. So suyufuhum is mubtada and khabar, but fi mahalli nazb hal min al-fa'il. You have la ta'qulu al-fakihata wa hiya fijjatun. Here you have the waw al-hal and then you have the damir. This is where he says imma huma ma'an. Huma ma'an. Either damir, the waw al-hal and then the damir. Both of them can also come together. So the rabit can be either just the waw al-hal or just the damir connecting the jumlatul hal to the sahib al-hal. Or you have both of them, the waw al-hal and then the damir coming together. Let's look at the ones that we have the jumla fi'liya as the hal. We have غاب أخوك وقد. The waw here is waw al-hal. is واو الحال. So every sentence that falls under it becomes that falls after it becomes the في محل نصب حال. So وقد حضر جميع الأصدقاء. قد you can say حرف تحقيق. حضر فعل ماضي، جميع فاعل وهو مضاف، الأصدقاء مضاف إليه، والجملة الفعلية من الفعل والفاعل في محل نصب حال من الفاعل أو في محل نصب حال. Okay, you have ذهب الجاني تحرسه الجنود. Here the rabbit is the ضمير ها. تحرسه ها referring back to the الجاني. And then we have قطف الأولاد الأزهار ولما تتفتح. The واو here is واو الحال. ولما تتفتح. لما here is the one that shows and it is yet to. لما here doesn't mean when. ولما is part of the list. لما is part of the أداة الجزم that we learned. When it comes the فعل مضارع that comes after it must be مجزوم, must end in sukun. Why is it that it didn't talk about where we have the zarf and the jar wa majrur, basically the shibhu jumla? Shibhu jumla in the first place has to be muta'alliqun bi shay. Shibhu jumla is not a complete sentence, so it can't stand independent. So definitely in its i'rab, it has to be muta'alliqun bi shay. So the moment you say wasta, which is zarf, the zarf and the mudaf ilay must be muta'alliq bi shay. They must be muta'alliq bil word. The moment you tell me at-ta'iru fil qafasi, when I say jar wa majrur, I will say muta'alliqun bil ta'ir. So it has to be either muta'alliqun bil ism or muta'alliqun bil fi'l. as-sallata min at-tin ay min at-tin muta'alliqun bi as-salla. Bi thamanin qalilin. Bi thamanin. Bi is harf jar and thaman is ism majrur. It has to be muta'alliqun bi ishtaraytu. I ishtaraytu bi thamanin qalil. So jar wa majrur themselves, they do not stand alone. They are not a complete sentence. So we do not need any rabbit to connect it to the sahib al-hal. They already connect automatically. But we need the rabbit in jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya because they are independent sentence. If you don't have the rabbit, we might confuse them to be standing alone. Note that we have different types of waw. We have waw al-atf, one that is harf al-atf. It just conjunct, it connects the two sentences. And then which means end. And then we have the waw al-isti'naf, which shows that the sentence coming after it is an independent sentence. And then we have the waw al-hal, which shows that the sentence after it is the hal. Jamil. Okay, let's quickly go through the qawaid. Al-qawaid says تجيء الحال اسما مفردا وجملة اسمية وجملة فعلية وظرفا وجارا ومجرور. These are the أنواع الحال that we have. Says إذا وقعت الحال جملة فلا بد لها من رابط يربطها بصاحب الحال. If the حال comes as جملة أي جملة مفيدة, that is جملة اسمية or جملة فعلية, لا بد لها من رابط, it must have a link, something connecting it to its صاحب الحال. وهو, and this رابط إما الواو فقط, it can either be just واو, وإما الضمير فقط, or it can be just a pronoun, وإما هما معا, or you have the واو and then the pronoun working together to connect the hal to its sahib. This brings us to the end of أنواع الحال. If anything confuses you, please do not hesitate to ask your questions, and then I will do my best to clarify them for you, inshallah. May Allah grant us beneficial knowledge and make our knowledge beneficial to the ummah at large. If you've not subscribed, do well to do so, and do well to share. Let's build the family up and open the benefit up to a larger number of people. Don't forget to leave a like if the lessons benefit you. Let's grow this, and also pray for me to be able to consistently bring out these lessons, inshallah, till we finish the book. May Allah aid us. Till we meet again, have a very good Arabic time. Don't forget your practice revision. Don't forget to find somebody to speak with. Don't forget to use your language to write anything. Just keep writing. Make the errors and grow through that. من خلال الأخطاء نتعلم ما هو صحيح. أستودعكم الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.